Michigan. Motown is the setting for the match. Taking into the Pistons. You know, you can't always say this is a must-win game, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Can you?
Well, very few teams have come back from losing the first two at home. I'm not saying it can't be done, but they don't want to test that theory.
Cunningham passes to Harris. Cunningham on the wing. Here's the three. Good for the basket. Starting off 1-for-1 with that shot.
Well, as defense, you have to expect Cunningham to take those. He's not shy at the arc. Well, he's so potent offensively. It's easy to draw up plays for him.
Let's go to the sideline and see what Allie LaForce has dug up for us. Allie, take it away.
A bit ago, J.B. Bickerstaff and I were able to chat. He was blunt when talking about his assessment of Franz Wagner. Coach praised the toughness Wagner plays with, saying, "We're talking about a 6'10" wing who goes hard to the bucket. He invites contact. Those aren't easy guys to contend with." Guys, back to you.
All right, Allie, thank you for that. And Stan, when you think of the most athletic teams in the NBA, the Pistons have to be right up there.
Yeah, a handful of supreme athletes. And most importantly, Kevin, they use that athleticism to attack and disrupt. That's what makes the difference.
Now here is Harris. And the Pistons another three.
And really a combo forward with a solid outside touch. Harris is the ideal fit for the modern NBA.
And Robinson wide open. He shoots. And again, it's the Pistons from deep.
And that's another basket for them. They have really come out blazing here in the first.
And so the timeout by Jamal Mosley here. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. The Magic have gotten their first three shots to go in for them. They'll start off this game. The basket counts and one. They'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And the other thing, I love how they're playing up tonight, getting into ball handlers and forcing some turnovers. Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And over the course of his career, Tobias Harris has shown a willingness to embrace various roles.
Well, look, Kevin, Tobias Harris is not only a highly skilled player, but he is a team-oriented, win-first, veteran guy, totally unselfish, and will just figure out a way that he needs to help any team he's on get to where they want to go.
There's the triple. And it's Suggs missing. The Pistons have gotten 6 or 7 shots to fall in the first quarter. They're off and running. And it goes down 2 points.
Well, that's where Cunningham does his best work, from the free throw line down.
Here's Banchero. And finished off by Banchero.
Both teams racking up the points to start this game.
Yeah, and I'm sure both coaches would like to see more defensive intensity from their team.
And so the timeout here by J.B. Bickerstaff. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. For the Pistons, Kevin Huerter. He's checked in for Thompson. And it's Jenkins in for Duncan Robinson. Orlando also making some changes. De Silva's checked in, and Black's subbed in for Jalen Suggs. Here's Wagner, following the three by Detroit. And a wide open look for Payne. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Harris, good. Harris has got his third basket of the night right there.
And it does a world of good for them to have Harris getting busy inside. Gives them that inside-out edge they're looking for. And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Cunningham with it, and it's Carter picking him up. It's stolen by Jenkins. Now Detroit moving it up. Here's Duran, and Duran slams it in.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
Yeah, they've come out with more energy and effort, and that's reflected in the score.
Here's Herder. He can't get that one to fall. And so it's Cade Cunningham making things happen for the Detroit Pistons. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that. And glad to have you with us as we get going here in Game 2. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
I know it's early, but all those three-pointers, boy, do they add up.
And with each made three, their confidence continues to build. Their opposition might want to change their approach to try to slow them down.
From range, LeVert's one of those guys you have to respect his shot. He makes enough from beyond where you have to honor.
Now, let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Thanks. The Magic are coming together. Paolo Banchero said, "This is a special group. We have something that you don't always see in professional sports. Guys really have each other's backs and look after one another. Not only are we close, but we're really talented and versatile as a team." Back over to you, Kevin.
A young, exciting team. Allie, we thank you very much. The Magic making a switch here. Suggs is checked in.
And got to push LeVert out of that area because he's very comfortable looking to score from there.
And that one is good from Suggs. And Greg, you were a point guard. How has that position evolved over the years?
Well, if you think of how much more of the court that has to be covered and the style, you have to score more now to play the position. I think shooting becomes incredibly important. And then defensively, with all the switching, you got to be able to hold up against size and play all over the floor. How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Lost contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And that's all about strength for Stewart. For him to be able to get the ball in the hoop while absorbing the foul.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Harris checked in for Holland. Asar Thompson comes in for Karis LeVert. Robinson's checked in for Kevin Herder. And Cade Cunningham subbed in for Jenkins. Here's Thompson. Good, and the assist goes to Cunningham. Cunningham's got 3 assists tonight.
An explosive player. Thompson has serious leaping ability, and that comes in handy around the basket.
No one near Banchero as he lets it go. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
Yeah, he's in such a great rhythm right now. Makes sense to get him the ball any way you can.
Yeah, when you have a guy playing like he has been recently, he's got to be the first option on every possession.
And so the timeout here by J.B. Bickerstaff. He's going to take this chance to talk to his guys. Bain checked in for Orlando.
Number 3, Steph Bain.
Pistons leading by 7.
2 minutes remaining.
Cunningham gets the bucket. Cunningham's got 10.
Well, the physicality of the NBA takes some getting used to, but Cunningham is able to make those tough finishes.
You know, Stan, you talk about the skill set Cade Cunningham possesses. What impresses you most?
I think a couple of things, Kevin. Number one, his poise is outstanding. This guy never gets bothered by anything that happens in a game, by any type of adversity. He's just going to come back with the same mindset on the next play. And also, his shooting has improved so much that you've now got to defend him honestly on the perimeter, and that sets up the rest of his game.
Jalen Duren, he's checked in for Isaiah Stewart. And so the timeout by Jamal Mosley here. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. The Magic trail by 12. Over to the wing. Orlando moving the ball around. Here's Banchero for 3. Buries it from three-point range. He's got 14.
And this is what everyone wants to see. Banchero is attacking without hesitation on the offensive end. Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
He rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. Here's Suggs. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so 1 free throw coming up.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
The Magic have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
Well, one thing you like about Jalen Suggs is this guy's a hard worker. You see that on the court, and you see it off in the way he's continued to work on his game.
Yep, it goes, and the Piston lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Bane. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
Well, Cunningham, offensively, he can hurt you in so many ways, and he's got it all working tonight.
Payton for 3. Duran pulls it in.
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
Robinson, that's good.
I mean, this is what Duncan Robinson does. He finds you points at the arc.
Itaje can't hit. Detroit leading by 12. It's stolen by Suggs. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's on Asar Thompson.
He takes advantage of them in every way possible.
And Greg, he lures them into a trap on the steal, and then bang, straight to the bucket.
Turning great defense into great offense. That's the kind of stop you're looking for.
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
And so it's the Detroit Pistons in control with the 9-point lead to end the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We've got more in store for you right after this.
First half of this postseason contest, and it hasn't been a great game so far for the Orlando Magic.
They're getting cooked from long distance. Defensively, they have to do a better job of closing out.
Yeah, especially these days. It's not enough to...
Checking out how the Pistons are doing in this series. That'll do it for our show tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we'll...
And we're with you again as our round 1 coverage continues. You know, Paolo Banchero, guys, has been exceptional.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, I'd love to see what they drew up in the locker room because you're right. He's the problem right now.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, I like how they're establishing their interior presence right away. That's going to collapse the defense and create other opportunities. Well, that's what you want. Get him the ball and see if he can close the gap.
Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Thank you, Kevin. Franz Wagner was asked to describe his game, and he said, I don't know if there's someone who I would say I play really close to. I'm like a tall guard. I try to do a lot of different stuff out there, and I hope when you see me play, you see that I'm having fun and I'm playing for the right reasons. Guys, back to you.
Okay, Allie, thanks. The Magic trail by 8. Here's Bane, and he lays it straight in. Bane's got 7 now in this quarter.
Just look at the body of Bane. He's so strong. That helps him down low.
And it's good for 2. And so it's Suggs who brings up the ball for the Magic. From deep. Gets it to fall. The bucket from Bain. Bain's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Magic. And so the timeout here by JB Bickerstaff. Coach needs a moment to talk things over. Detroit leading by 5. Here's Cunningham. Lucky 7 drops in. He's perfect from the floor. 7 for 7.
Well, you can see why he's a go-to guy for them. They trust in his ability to shoulder the offensive load.
And some kind of switch must have been flipped at halftime because both teams are getting after it.
Yeah, and you can feel the pace picking up in the second half. Both teams have dialed up the intensity.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of.
The Pistons shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. Thompson no good on the free throw.
Well, in terms of pure talent, Asar Thompson has loads of it. I don't know if he has a ceiling.
Playing from behind right here, not easy, but he is answering the bell.
Well, consistent scoring is a good foundation for a comeback. They can't be wasting possessions now.
Jenkins, he's checked in for Cade Cunningham. And a switcher also for Orlando. Black's checked in. So Stan, in terms of emerging young stars, Banchero is very high on that list.
Well, he sure is, Kevin, because he can create shots for himself and his teammates. And as we've already seen in his early years, this guy is at his best in the playoffs, and that's a trait we're always looking for.
Wagner with it, picked up by Thompson. And it's Wagner missing. Pistons leading by 5. Harris passes to Duren. And Duren slams it in.
Let me tell you something about Jalen Duren. This guy fears no one, and he plays with a mean streak.
And so the timeout by Jamal Mosley here. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. Holland, he's checked in for Detroit. Black kicks to Banchero. Wagner passes to Bain. Fires the 3. Rebound, Detroit. Duren's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Robinson. It's good. Robinson's got 7 points for the quarter.
Well, look, scoring is why Robinson is on the floor. And when he really gets going, it's a problem.
Here's Black. That's good, and it's Banchero with the assist.
Well, that's just excellent offense. If the defense is giving that up, you've got to take it.
Here's Duren. Good work defensively by Carter.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything he wanted defending that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
And stolen by Wagner. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game. Inside. Banchero outside. And the Magic another 3.
And he's got a nice fluid motion on his long-range shots. I think Banchero will be a consistent three-point shooter at the NBA level.
It's good. Thompson's got 8 points.
And defensively, that's just not going to cut it.
Here's Bain. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Nice little run here to shrink that deficit, but can they get over the hump?
Well, with all the momentum they've built up, I don't see this run stopping anytime soon.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting neck-and-neck game. Pistons ahead, up by 3. And how about a look now at our assist of the game?
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Yeah, well, this is the diversification of positions in this league. Everyone does everything now.
And we're happy to have you back for more playoff basketball here in round 1.
Oh, what focus from Suggs, refusing to let the hit throw him off.
And that's a foul called on Ron Holland. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Here's Suggs. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
Well, we saw Suggs' ability to take over games at the collegiate level, doing the same here in the NBA.
Driving to the basket. Gets it to go for bucket number 8. He's taken just 10 shots.
If you came to watch a scoring battle, you're in the right place.
Yeah, and how great have these offenses been for these teams tonight? Just fantastic execution.
And J.B. Bickerstaff is called a timeout. He's not taking any chances and wants to huddle them up right away. And now, Allie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
J.B. Bickerstaff had some words for his team over the break. He applauded their shooting and their shot selection, saying, "We're taking the right threes, not forcing anything. Keep doing that, and they'll continue to fall." Makes the game easy, doesn't it?
Allie, thank you so much. Wagner looking it over. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Wagner's got the lead up to 4 now for the Magic.
And that's big for Wagner's confidence when he's connecting from deep, especially in these answer 3 situations.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. Suggs outside. Jacks up a 3. Herder there for the rebound.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
He gets it to go.
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just getting the job done when they need to make every possession count.
Count it!
Yeah, and showing some force inside. Wagner making sure he gets his.
Pistons trail by 6. Stewart can't get it. Orlando, they've gotten it done so far from the field here in the 4th, going 6 for 7. Wagner fires, and down goes the 3.
Something Wagner continues to work on. It's huge when he's connecting from outside.
And J.B. Bickerstaff is called a timeout. Clearly, he's got something his players need to hear, and immediately. And a different look here for the Pistons. Duran, he's checked in for Stewart. Tobias Harris comes in for Holland. Thompson, he's checked in for Kevin Herter. Robinson is subbed in for Jenkins.
There's the handle of Cunningham on full display with that nice take.
And he gets it to go.
Well, this is what you're trying to do. Put the game away.
Yeah, but you can't let up now. We've seen too many wild comebacks in this league.
Bain rips down the rebound. And so it's Carter who brings the ball up for the Orlando Magic. Launches it. Rebounded by Thompson. Pistons trail by 9. Robinson with it. Picked up by Banchero. Now Harris. Outside Cunningham. Beyond the arc. Down it goes for 3.
Well, he's always on the hunt. Cunningham's next shot is never far off.
Strong move off the glass.
He's creating good looks and shooting very efficient.
Time running out for the Pistons. Robinson. Cleared away by Wagner.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Carter outside. Now Suggs. Banchero. A 3-pointer. Good.
And it's just competing and, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got clutch guys on this team, and they never let up.
Timeout called the Pistons. They trail by 11. Cunningham against Wagner. 2 points. That one goes.
That's an aggressive play and a chance for Cunningham to get 3 points the old-fashioned way.
Here's Orlando now. They're leading by 8. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jalen Suggs. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Cunningham fires, and there's the 3.
Cunningham's teammates and coaches trusting him in a big spot.
And so they foul intentionally. And so they choose to intentionally foul. He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. Second one is good. They both at the line, and it's a 7-point game.
And he just garnered a little bit more insurance there. Very confident that he's able to go up and knock those down.
It drops.
And that's an intentional foul. Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6. So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game. Fate looking very thin now, Greg, with very few ticks of the clock remaining.
They'll need something special to happen, and it needs to happen fast.
Well, you can see Thompson working on his passing and expanding his skill set.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And an intentional foul right there.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
It's the first, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game. And he commits the intentional foul.
You know, give him credit for still battling here down the stretch, but I think it's too little too late.
So the first one drops, and that stretches their lead to 8. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 9-point ball game here.
Hey, talk about a cool customer. Icing this one with some clutch free throws.
And so it's Orlando winning this one. And this win puts them squarely in the driver's seat in this series, up now